I'm striving to get rich. That's why I almost went 2 years without buying shoes and fits. Things change now. My mom hearing me with my music and she look a little proud.
Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in. You guys wondering why I have all this White Sox stuff on? As I'm recording right now, the White Sox are actually in the playoff game right now. So, yeah, I'm a White Sox fan too. So, this is why I got all the Sox stuff on. But, it's Tuesday, and it's another power ranking video. But this one is just going to be a little bit different. I am making this video my own power rankings versus reacting to Bleacher Report's power rankings. So this video you actually get to see what I think of each team, not just going by what Bleacher Report says. I can have my own input on the power rankings. But let's go right ahead and dive into this video. So the first we have up is the Washington football team, which I still think is the absolutely dumbest thing I've ever heard. But I will put them in a C category. Oh, before I forgot to explain, S is the elite, A, B, C, and D. Washington, they're below, I think they're a below average football team. As much as I love Dwayne Haskins at times Ohio State, he's struggling a bit along with the rest of the offense. The defense is playing a little bit better than I expected them to, but this Washington football team is just struggling offensively. And part of that you can put on Haskins. San Francisco, I would put at a B. The injuries are hurting them bad right now, but they're still a very, very good football team. A team that I still think can contend in the NFC West, even with Arizona, even with Seattle, who's the cream of the crop of that division. Next up, we have my Chicago Bears. I'm going to put them in the A tier. Now, a lot of people are going to say you're being biased, but honestly, as much as I believed in Trubisky, that did not work out. I think a little bit Nick Foles can help get this offense going. As long as we have some consistency on offense and defense, this team can be very, very good. I predicted them to go to the playoffs and have a very good contention for the division, which they're still on track to do both of those things right now. But I think the quarterback change could give this team a boost they need, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Next up, we have the Cincinnati Bengals, who are 0-2-1, but they've played hard. And honestly, I'm not going to put them at the bottom of the league at this moment. I'm going to put them here. I just think this Bengals team plays absolutely hard, and that's what keeps them in games. They've had a chance to win both against the Chargers and also against the Eagles last week. So I don't think this team is as bad as his record showing, 0-2-1. But it's just the fact of this team is very young and is still learning how to win football games. Next up, we have the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to put them, it's between S and A. I'm still going to put them at A. Their comeback against the Rams almost hurt them. The Rams almost come back and win that game, but they were able to hold on and pull that game out. And this Bills team, I still says can win the AFC East. So they're not necessarily elite, but they're definitely pushing on that door to knock it over. Now, Denver Broncos, I'm going to have them at D. This team is riddled by the injuries, and it's not a really good football team. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to watch this Broncos defense struggle the way it has. Especially with Vic Fangio at the helm. This team is riddled by a lot of injuries to Drew Lock, Cortland Sutton, torn ACL, Von Miller is hurt. So you have injuries, plus it's just something not there with that team. Next up, we have Cleveland. I'm going to put them in the middle of the pack. They're average. It's just something they just don't live up to potential. Now, they are a 2-1 team, and it's just something I don't see that's not there with them. I can't even necessarily put my finger on it, but it's just something not there with this football team. Next up, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're going to put them at the A spot as well. This team is, I knew they were going to be good. They still have a little things to fix, but how they looked against Denver, despite Denver being injured, the team looked really, really good against Denver. 2-1 at the moment, so I will put this team in the A category. Arizona Cardinals, I will put them at the A category as well. Despite the loss to the Lions, Kyler Murray is looking like a really, really good quarterback. The defense is playing really well, and I had them on an upswing as well. So it's not surprising that this Cardinals team is playing really good football. Next up, we have the LA Chargers. Despite being 1-2, I want to put this team here at B category. I think Justin Herbert can really be a successful quarterback the way he's playing so far. It's unfortunate to what happened to Tyrod Taylor, but Melvin Ingram missing on defense, Derwin James missing on defense, really, really hurts them. Bosa has played very, very well, the guy that they paid him to be. The running game is going a little bit. It's just the Jaguars, oh my God. The Chargers make just maybe one or two small mistakes that gets them out of football games. They had a possibility to win against the Chiefs, and they had a possibility to win last week against Carolina, but it's just their mistakes come at the wrong time, but it's not a bad football team. Next up, we have the reigning champion Chiefs, and I'm going to put them here. The way Patrick Mahomes looked Monday night against Baltimore is just something special. I mean, what more can you do? It's just something that's very, very special about him. He is, I mean, the Bears had opportunity, but we're not going to go into that subject, but the way he looked against that Ravens defense, even though I've always said Marcus Peters is overrated, but the way he looked against that Ravens defense is absolutely special. And can we give Andy Reid the credit that he deserves? The man is a genius. The man is an offensive genius. And to have him with Patrick Mahomes, this is going to be an unstoppable and fearsome tandem for the next at least 5 to 10 years. Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts. It's between C and B for me, but I'm going to put them at average, not just because they faced the Bears this week. It's just they played against the Jets last week, and the Jets are absolutely god-awful. The Jets are awful. But it's just at the same time, it's this offense that's really sputters sometimes to me. We will see. I will get a first-hand look against my Bears this week, but I just feel this offense is really, really, really missing Marlon Mack. It's really missing Marlon Mack in the running game. Phillip Rivers has had his moments, but the defense is a lot better than what I thought they could be. But I still question a little bit on offense. The Dallas Cowboys, where could we go with this Cowboys team? I want to put them in here just to piss off Cowboy fans, but I'm going to have to put the Cowboys at average. As much as I like Zeke, Dak has been hit or miss. The comeback win, if it wasn't for the Falcons absolutely choking for the umpteenth time, this team would be 0-3. It's not a bad football team. I just don't think defensively this Cowboys team has what it takes to be a real competitor. I just don't. And the NFC East is already trash, so somebody has to win that division by default. But it might end up being the Cowboys if we're going to be honest. But I just don't see this football team making very far without improvements to defense. Miami Dolphins, we're going to have them at a C. Ryan Fitzpatrick did go off, but at the same time, it's the Jaguars. The Jaguars are trash. Let's just be honest. The Jaguars are awful. But Ryan Fitzpatrick, albeit he had a very good game, this Dolphins team is still in rebuilding mode. So I'm not going to put too much stock on the Jaguars win. Next up, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. Honestly, I'm going to put the Eagles there. Carson Wentz has not looked like the Carson Wentz of 2017. He has not looked the same since that torn ACL injury. And the Eagles team is just absolutely riddled with injuries. Injury prone. And they just can't stay out of their own way health-wise. And Carson Wentz has just not looked the same this year so far. The Falcons, we're going to put there. You blow 2 leads against the Cowboys and my Bears, and you get torched by Russell Wilson. You can't hold on to a lead. You don't run the football enough to be able to kill clock and hold a said lead. And then you mess up on side kicks. You cannot cover Bear receivers. You cannot cover Cowboy receivers. You cannot stop Nick Foles. You can't stop Dak Prescott from coming back on you. The offenses look great, but when it comes to crunch time and to having to hold the lead, the offense struggles. They don't run the football. And Dan Quinn needs to be fired. Let's just hit his there. Dan Quinn has to go. And I thought he was going to be gone after last year. This Falcons team is in deep trouble. Next up, we have the Giants. I'm going to put the Giants here. Saquon Barkley injury absolutely hurts this Giants team. It hurts this Giants team a lot. Daniel Jones is improving, but without the sake of a running game consistently. They did add Devontae Freeman, but I just feel this team, this NFC East, let's just say it's trash. The NFC East is trash. Let's just say that. I don't even want to go too much more about that division. The division is awful. Next up, Jacksonville. We're going to put him there. Despite them winning against the Colts in week 1, Gardner Minshew, like I said in the video before, I still don't think he's the guy. The defense is not very good. The offense is sputtering. You don't have much on the running game. The Jaguars team is not very good. Next up, the Jets, the worst team in football. This is the worst team in football. Adam Gase has to go. Adam Gase has to go. Sam Darnold does not look any better under you. Sam Darnold has potential to be a very good quarterback. At least in my eyes, he still has some potential. But under Adam Gase, this offense looks absolutely horrible. This team is just absolutely bad. Bad. Next up, we have the Detroit Lions. I'm going to put the Detroit Lions at a C. The Lions are, I think the Lions are a little bit better than what their record shows. They have the same problem the Falcons have. They can't hold on to leads. But I think if you compare the Falcons defense to the Lions defense, I will pick the Lions defense over the Falcons defense. The Lions defense made plays when they needed to make plays against a very good Arizona Cardinal football team. Matt Patricia is really a solid coach, so I'm not going to say solid coach. I think he's a better defensive mind than Dan Quinn. I will definitely put the Lions above the Falcons. Both teams need changes, but I think the Falcons need more than the Lions. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers. As much as it hates me to do this, I'm going to put the Packers here. Aaron Rodgers is looking like Aaron Rodgers. Defense is playing very well. They did let up 30-something against the Saints, but the Saints have one of the most dynamic offenses in the league. And Aaron Jones has looked very well, but Aaron Rodgers is looking like Aaron Rodgers. I hate to even give the Packers praise. It almost makes me sick, so let's just move on. They're good. They're good. Next up, we have the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to put them at a C as well. Matt Rule got his first win as head coach. Teddy Bridgewater is looked solid. And this team is really, really missing Christian McCaffrey. And the defense is missing the guys like Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly on the other side of the football. It's not the same Panthers defense that really put fear into opponents. It's a football team I think is going to struggle throughout the course of the year. Bridgewater's going to look good, but I don't think defensively they're going to be there just yet. Next up, we have the New England Patriots. I'm going to put them at the A tier as well. Very, very good football team. And Cam Newton is really playing up to the Cam Newton expectations. So, I just really think this Patriots team I don't think it's going to win the AFC East per se, but not having James White, and my prayers just go out to James White, to what happened to his parents. I know that's got to be very, very hard on them. That's my first thing. And the defense is still a very, very good defense under Belichick. It's just surprising me how good Cam Newton has looked so far this season. Next up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. It still pains me to say this, Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to put them at the B as well. There's potential to be an A team. But it's something about this Raiders defense that I necessarily don't believe in. Derek Carr's looked a whole lot better so far this season than what I expected him to look. And Darren Waller has become absolutely unstoppable. And Josh Jacobs is looking like a very, very good pick from last year. So the Raiders' offense is good. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's just something about this defense that I truly don't believe in. I kind of hope they prove me wrong, but this is just my opinion. It's just something about the defense I'm not really bought into yet. Next up is the Rams. I'm also going to put them at the B category. Letting up that game against the Bills. This Rams team, I didn't expect them to be very good coming into this year anyway. But they have looked surprisingly better than what I thought they were going to look. Jared Goff has looked a lot better than what I expected him to look. So, and then you have Aaron Donald on the defensive side of the ball just dominating. So, albeit this Rams team is solid, it's just something about this team I don't believe in, and I can't even put my finger on it. Next up, we have the Ravens, and the defense especially did not look good last night against the Chiefs. Defense did not look good. Lamar Jackson struggled for majority of the first half, and if it wasn't for that kickoff return by Duvernay, they would have only had 3 points. And then first half, where Patrick Mahomes is looking like world beaters against that Ravens defense. Though I do still think the Ravens are a very, very good football team. I do think they're going to be one of the teams of the cream of the crop of the AFC. But I just think they need to go back to the drawing board a little bit and make some adjustments on offense. Especially when the running game is not really going like it wasn't for majority of the first half last night. I mean, it is Patrick Mahomes, but I just feel some adjustment can be made. This Ravens team is not a bad team at all. It's still a very good football team. Next up, we have the New Orleans Saints. This team, I'm going to put them at an A despite being 1-2, but this team misses Michael Thomas offensively. And I think the inability to really attack downfield has really hurt the Saints these first couple of games, especially these last 2 without Michael Thomas. They really, really miss Michael Thomas. Emmanuel Sanders has not really been made a part of the offense like I thought he would be. Alvin Kamara is absolutely special. He is special. But I just feel this Saints team is better than what their record shows. It's just the fact that the offense really, really misses Michael Thomas. Next up, Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson for MVP. That's all I have to say about that. Russell Wilson for MVP. They have unleashed him, and that man is the best deep ball thrower in the league. He is very accurate throwing the ball deep. Very, very accurate. He lit up the Cowboys defense throwing the ball deep. And it's not just lighting up that defense. He's lit up New England's defense. He's lit up Atlanta's defense. Well, everybody likes that defense up. But that man is, I have to say it, he's MVP. He is MVP. And the defense with Jamal Adams, it is a very good Seattle Seahawks football team. Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm also going to put them at the A category as well. This Steelers team is surprising me, and Ben Roethlisberger is looking like a big, big Roethlisberger that we're used to seeing. So, at the end of the day, this Steelers team and the defense is looking very, very good as well. It's surprising me that they're 3-0 at this point, but this football team is a really good team. Next up, we have the Houston Texans. Now, I wanted to put them here, but I'm going to put them there 0-3. I mean, your first 2 weeks were Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, but this offense really, really misses DeAndre Hopkins. And it's as clear as day to see it. It's clear as day to see this offense really misses the presence of DeAndre Hopkins. That was still the biggest mistake of the 2020 offseason by any team. And this Texans defense has not lived up to expectations. I really expected this Texans defense to be top 5, top 10. And they have not lived up. And they did not look good against Pittsburgh last week. So, I'm going to have them at the C. The Titans, I'm going to put the Titans at, I'm going to put them at an A. Just for now. Tannehill's playing a lot better than what I thought he would play. And the running game was getting going. Derrick Henry looked like to his old self. I mean, it was Minnesota last week, so. But this Titans team is still building momentum off the AFC Championship game appearance last year. And next we have the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to have to put them in a D. I'm putting, you know what? I'm going to put this Vikings team in a D. I don't believe in Kirk Cousins. I've said this numerous times. I don't believe in Kirk Cousins. This defense lost a lot of its pieces last off season. And it's really showing. Traded Stephon Diggs is really showing as well. Dalvin Cook is looking good. He's looking healthy. So they do have that going, but I don't trust Kirk Cousins, and this defense lost a lot of pieces. Despite adding Yannick Ngakoue, he hasn't made that much of an impact so far this year. So these are my rankings. That's all I have for you guys today. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. That helps the channel to grow. I will see you guys next time. Have a great and excellent day. Let me get back to this White Sox game that's going on right now. Peace.
I wanna say thank you to my mom and my daddy for making love the night that you had me. Wanna thank my friends, my sister, and my brother.